Hello guys, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for passing by. This is what we'll be making today. This beautiful satellite fascinator. We'll be using the scissors, bishop cap, needle, thread, bias and beads, fishing line. We'll be using the flat pearls bead, and we'll be using 3 different sizes of beads. These are gum. This is the net we'll be using. We'll be using gum stain, Alice band, and 3 different sizes of bead. Size 6. The pearls is size 6. The crystal bead is size 6. Then we have size 4 of another crystal bead. So this is the wire we've been using. I already cut my wire to the size I want. So cut your wire to the size you want. You can use tape to measure the size you want for your wire. Then round it, put the both mat where you cut, put them together and use a thread to bind them together firmly. I don't want my satellite fascinator to be very big. I don't want it very big. So I'm doing this size. So this is the size I'm doing. Have finished using the rope, so I'm going to tie it so that it will not get loose where I bind them together. So I use a bias. Sorry, I lost the previous video. That's why you not see the way I did the bias. So I put gum on the bias and take it round the wire. The wire I've already tied. You can see where I tied it. So I just use the bias to wrap it. Some persons make their satellite fascinator before using bias, but I use my bias before making the fascinator. So this is the net. You place the net is very light, so I doubled it. I fold the net into 2. Then place my wire that I've already covered with bias and gather the net from north, east, west and south. Then gather it firmly. Make sure you pick every part of the net. My table is not big, so everything is not showing. So you pick every part of the net. You can see the way I'm doing it. Your satellite fascinator, if you want it to bend, this bent one, you want it bent to one side or you want it bent on 2 sides, you keep tying it. You make sure you tie it very hard. So this is a rope I've already doubled, so I'm using the rope to tie it round now. If I want the fascinator very bent, I'll keep tying it. I'll drag the net very well and the fascinator will keep bending. But this is how I want it. I don't want it too bent and I don't want it flat. And if you want it flat, you're going to be gentle on it. You don't have to use force to tie it so that it will remain flat. But I think satellite fascinator is more beautiful when it's a little bit bent. So I like mine a little bit bent. So I'm going to be tying it round. Tie it very well. Don't tie it loose. Make sure you pick every part of the net. So I'm tying it now. Yeah, I'm tying it. The net is looking like a camouflage bar. Okay, you cut out the excesses. Cut out the excess from the net. Cut out the excess. Can see you have a beautiful shape here. So this is the size of the fishing line I'm using. For those who will ask what's the size of a fishing line, so I'm going to bead on my I'll be beading on my bishop cap. Take the thread from under, bring it to the front, take it back to the under. For those who watch this video and think I'm going to do that same method I used on my previous video, this is not the same process. This is a different process entirely, because I don't want it heavy. When you use that former process, it's going to be not very heavy, but it's going to be heavy and the weight to be too much on the net. So we are using a different process. So you tie your rope, your fishing line behind. When you bring the needle back, you tie it behind before you start beading. You tie behind, sorry. There's a lot of breeze here. I think it's about to rain, so it's banging my door. So you take the needle back now to the front. Take the needle back to the front. Then your beading starts. You start beading. You can put one bead in the needle, or you put two. So before I finished beading this, I started using two beads to be faster. It's faster because I want to finish everything today. Today is Saturday, so I want to finish everything. So like the way you put a single bead on the bishop cap, you can put two on the needle and place on your bishop cap. So this is it. You put one needle. Sorry, I lost the video. Sorry, I'll be showing you. I think I lost that video. So this is the satellites fascinator I've already tied. So I'm going to be putting pearls at the edges where the bias is. I'm going to be putting pearls. So you put your gum on the fascinator and start placing your flat pearls. When you put your gum before placing the flat pearls, it help it because as the gum dried, that's how firmly the pearls will stay. The gum becomes sticky when it's dried. My hand, there's gum in my hand, so it's making the pearls to pull off with my hand. So the way when it's dried, the pearls will stay fine. So because it's not dry, you notice that it is moving a little. Don't bother yourself, just keep doing what you're doing. As it's getting dry, the pearls will stay well on them. So place all my pearls on the stuff. I finished placing my pearls. So the next thing is to do this. I'm going to sew on it. I'll be sewing on it. I'll sew this on my on my satellites, the bishop beaded cap. I'm going to sew it on the satellite fascinator I made. So once I sew it round, don't try using gum. It will pull off your head. So it's better you sew with needle and thread. If you don't have thread, you can use fishing line to sew, whichever way, but I'm using white needle and thread. Make sure this is a white stuff I'm using, so it's very delicate, so try to wash your hands before making it so that you will not get them dirty. You don't have to do a laundry before delivering this if you're making this for a customer, so you need to be very you need to handle it very well. Wash your hands before making it so that it will not get stained. So you sew from in and out. Yes, you take your needle out, you don't take it back in, you don't take it back again, because you take it from the top. Sorry, when you take it from in, you take it from the top again. So it's going to be in and out like this. Then you take the needle inside this time around. So when the needle is out, you start the sewing from the top again. So you do this same process, continue. You sew it round. When you finish sewing it, take the needle to the back and tie. All the rough work is going to be inside, because that's where you will cover later on. So all your tying should be inside. When you are doing a fascinator or a beadwork, all your tying should be inside. So we are tying everything inside. So we're tying this now. So you tie very well. Then you cut off this part where you tied earlier when you were making your stuff. When you, if you said, okay, I don't want to cut this out, I want to place my Alice band here, you will the Alice band will not stay, it will not stay, and the fascinator will not sit fine on the head. So you have to cut this part off so that you do all your work inside. You put your Alice band inside, everything will be inside. So as you can see, we've cut out the part we tied. The holes you are seeing are from the needle when we were beading the bishop cap. So I'm using a gum stain. You can use a lining, you can use anything you feel will make your work to come out fine. Then my Alice band, I'm going to sew it first before applying gum. In that way it will stand very strong. So I'm going to sew it in and out again. After sewing, I'll put gum, but meanwhile let me finish sewing. So I'm going to be sewing it first. Thread it, sew it the way you want thing. You know that this, it has stand well, like it will not pull off. So in case the gum fail with time, because some gum with time it will look as, so in case the gum fail with time, the thread will be there, so it's not going to give you issues in future. So you tie very well, sew very well. When you finish sewing, you can now put gum. So please, I lost the video of where I was beading the bishop cap. Please, I apologize for that. What I'll do, I'll try and do a short video of it and post it, maybe before the week, this week, the new week we are entering runs out. I'll try and place it. For those who don't understand, I only did a little of it, and before I could finish, I lost the video. So I'll be posting a video of it later on. So please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you will get that part. You get that part that I lost. I don't know what happened, but it's now that I discovered I lost the video. So it is properly sewn. I'm going to put gum on it. Your gum, when the gum is a little bit as if it's drying off, that's when the gum is stronger, it's sticky then. So you put your gum when you're working, you can put your gum while you're doing other things. So I'm applying my gum in all the parts that I feel needed gum. So under, out, everywhere, just try and apply the gum everywhere so that the Alice band will not have any reason to fall off. So always apply first in the part you apply gum. Apply first when you are working. Any part of your work that you put gum, apply first. So I'm using this to cover up that space. If you have a lining, you can use. If you have other stuff that you know you can use to cover up the place, you can. But I'm using a gum stain. Sorry, I think I have my cameraman my camera woman is not trying, that part is not showing, but what I'm doing there is that I'm covering up that part. I'm covering that part. So sorry, please. For this reason, if you have any question, I will always be online to attend to your questions, because my video, most of what I'm doing is not well videoed. So this is the outcome of my work. So you can see it is beautiful. You can make the colors of your choice. Please always drop your comments. In any way you don't understand, please drop your comments. I will always attend to them. And if you feel you want another video, maybe a clearer video of it you want me to do, especially that beading part, I can always send to your WhatsApp if you want. So you let me know how, then we'll go inbox and go to my inbox either on Facebook or on Instagram, I'll send you my WhatsApp number for a clearer video. But anything you don't understand for now, just drop your comment. I will attend to it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching my video. Please try and share if you can. Thank you.